My name's Suzanne. I'm the creator and founder of the Healing Tarot. I just want to start off by saying that making videos, being on camera is massively outside of my comfort zone, so please bear with me. I will get much better at this with practice, but yeah, I really don't even like having photographs taken of me, so this is me at full stretch, so please bear with me. But I wanted to make this video because I have recently launched the Healing Tarot, and I just wanted to reach out to my community and my tribe. Yeah, just to connect, and that, you know, that's the way that we connect these days, isn't it? So yeah, here I am. So this video is really just to tell you a little bit about me, a little bit about who I am, my background, and about why the Healing Tarot came about, what it is, what you might potentially get from it, and what to expect from future videos as well. So watch this space. I will be regularly posting, and my videos will become more polished with time, fingers crossed. So yeah, so who I am, Suzanne. My background is actually as a sociologist. I'm in the final stages of a PhD in sociology, and my fascination has been with people, but also with how people relate to each other, and how people move through their lives. So all of my work and my research and my studies have been really centred around women's experiences of trauma or difficult experiences during their lives, and how they move through that experience and how they move on from that experience, and how it shapes their lives, and how they can, you know, sometimes transform those experiences into something else, or sometimes it can lead to stagnation. So I am coming from this from an academic background, but at the same time I also deeply fell in love with tarot many years ago, when I realised the richness of tarot, the symbolism, the way that you could just really fall down a rabbit hole with it, and I did, and I'm sure many of you have done that too. It's so beautiful, and it's something that you can really have a connection and a relationship with outside of yourself, and you can learn about yourself as a reflection, by reflection through tarot. So why did I create the Healing Tarot? I created it because I went through a period of my own transformation. About 7 or 8 years ago, a significant event happened in my life, a series of events. I'd went back to university to study, so I'd left a really successful, I suppose, depending on how you define success, but I'd left a steady career. I went back into education because I really wanted to do that. Had always wanted to do that, and I at the same time my marriage broke down, so a lot of change happened around that. It was the first time in my adult life really that I'd ever really been on my own, and I had a recognition that I needed to be on my own. I needed to learn about myself. I needed to find my place in the world outside of a relationship, and so I fell into tarot, and at first it was just as a prediction tool. It was to try and work out what would happen in this scenario or that scenario, but the deeper I fell into it, the more that I realised that actually it was more useful for me, and that's really what we believe at the Healing Tarot, is that tarot is not this external thing that's like some spirit that's reflecting that's giving you answers, sorry. It's actually a reflection of yourself. It's a mirror into your subconscious, or a way to tap into your a higher narrative that you can't quite get through your conscious mind. So a conversation with yourself, really. So as I discovered that, and as I got more familiar with that, I grew through it. I really did. I tried to emulate the cards. How can I be more high priestess in difficult, nervous moments? How could I be more Queen of Cups when I'm really struggling to not repress my emotions, that kind of thing. And so I found it aspirational, but I also found it honest, and a way to have a conversation, a dialogue with myself that I just didn't have another means to do. So yes, that happened, several years ago. I developed through my studies as well. I'd moved on to PhD, so I was building my own educational material. I was contributing to courses. I was writing lectures, designing seminars, teaching at higher education. So I learned a lot about teaching. I learned a lot about the world and how we relate to each other. I learned a lot about women's lives and how they move through their lives, and at the same time I had all of this knowledge from tarot, and as I was coming to the end of my PhD, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to work for someone else again. I did not want to have another boss or employer. I've been burned in that regard, and again, I'm sure many of you out there have also had that experience. I wanted to work for myself, and I wanted to help people. I wanted to take all of the beautiful stuff that I have experienced and gained from tarot, and I'll give it to other people. And I looked at the tarot world, and I thought a lot of it is really just learn how to read tarot. So your main websites are that. If you already know how to read tarot, where do you go next? Or it's please give me an answer to this question or that question. Usually, what will happen with this relationship? Does this person love me? That kind of thing. There's plenty of that around, and if you're watching this and you care about tarot and healing, I'm sure you're very familiar with that. Can I get a free reading? It's it's part of being a tarot reader, really, and it's part of loving tarot. But I just didn't want to recreate that. There is so much of that. Why do that again? And also as well, that although I had grown through tarot and I had gone on this, fell down this healing rabbit hole, I also reached a point where I just couldn't go any further. I reached a point of stagnation. I reached a point where I didn't know what to do next. So I'd absorbed all of this material, I'd read all of these blogs, I'd read this book, I'd took this in, and I wasn't really learning anything new, and I didn't know what the next step should be. So I took what I'd learned through tarot, I took what I'd learned through my studies, and I took what I'd learned through educating other people, and I built a website. And I did it with absolutely no knowledge of how to build a website. I have taught myself how to do this, so if you find any glitches or if there's anything that doesn't work, please just drop me a line and I will happily fix it. I'm a self-taught business person here, so I really do appreciate your feedback, and I do want to get better, and I want it to be the best it can be for you. So that's why we have the Healing Tarot. And what can you get from the website? What can you get from the Healing Tarot? That's the most important question, right? Because you're here, you're visiting here to learn how it can help you, and I really hope that it can. because I've taken all of my experiences and all of the things that I found frustrating on my journey, and I've tried to channel that into something that I hope can be useful to other people in as flexible a way as possible, because a healing, transformational growth journey is as individual as anything can possibly be. So it's not prescriptive, it's a framework, it's not a rigid framework. So the main crux of what the Healing Tarot is about is to give this framework for healing, but I also wanted it to be an ecology, a space for people to dip in and out of or tap into in a way that they need it at any given time. So if you visit the healing space, for example, you might just be able to do a quick meditation, or engage with a card and do a little bit journaling around it. You can get a quick free tarot reading, AI generated. Obviously I'm not sitting there giving people free tarot readings all day, so you know, don't expect much from it, but it's just a little way to have a conversation with yourself if that's what you need on any given day. The healing journey is a much deeper and longer process, so it involves courses, it involves journaling activities. Courses are 8 weeks, journaling is 30 days, and they're designed around topics in progression or through the Healing Tarot framework. So it starts with emotional healing and past wounds. So you're going back to the past, you're trying to heal older parts of yourself and reintegrate them back into your life as it currently is. It moves on to love and relationship healing. So you're healing the relational parts of yourself, the life that you're in, the people around you. It then moves on to spiritual and energy alignment. So depending on your belief system, you may believe in spirit, you may believe in some external power or source, or if you're like me, you might just believe that there is a higher version of yourself that knows what's best for you, and it's really difficult to trust that higher self sometimes. So how do you connect with that better? And then the final part is about personal growth. So taking everything you've developed over time and growing from that. But there's not to say that there's not a hierarchy around it, so you don't necessarily go back. You know, if you're on course 1 in category 1, you're the most unevolved, unhealed person, and then if you're at the other end, you are. It's just what you need at any given time, and you can loop around, you can repeat, you can just intuitively move through the structure. And that's why we've created the subscription models to help with that. You can pay for courses individually, or you can subscribe and you can just dip in and out, and you can take it as a day at a time, and whatever helps you at any given moment. Some other features we've got, I'm not going to bash on about this too long because this video is going to get far too long and you'll get bored, but you probably already are. But we've also got, you can get readings from me, so it can either be an email reading or we can do live readings. And I'll do some videos around readings as well, so you can get a sense of what the reading will be like, and see if it's going to help you basically. There's loads of resources on there as well, so if you've got a subscription you can access hundreds of spreads based around the framework. I wanted to create a community as well, so we've got groups, so if you can either have a sort of general discussion with non-subscribers, or if you've subscribed, you can have an in-depth discussion with the people who are going through a similar journey to you. We've also got events as well, so trying to build events so that the community can get together. So it might be workshops or webinars. So watch out for the events. It's in the under the community tab under events. I've also got a blog as well, so I post kind of regular blog updates. and I really encourage that community members, if you want to write a blog, you can do it in other places like Medium, fair enough, or you could do it something that's specifically around healing for tarot. So if you wanted to write a blog, just get in touch and I'll be very happy to work with you and publish that. Similarly to an event, if you're a reader or a healer and you want to publish, if you want to promote, deliver your own event, then we can do that as well. We can work together on that. And finally, we've got the resources section. So that's kind of like what ideal resources do we recommend around journaling or tarot. What decks do we like? We've got the meanings around the cards, but it's not based around kind of love or career or whatever. It's based around healing. So if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're going to find. If you're looking for love and answer to love, you're not going to find that there. We've got our shop as well, so it's just a place where you can get resources if you're looking for a really beautiful spread, or you want some kind of healing or spiritual products. That's there as well. So we've tried to create an entire environment that people can live and hopefully connect with each other. Not about tarot as prediction, but about tarot as a mirror to yourself and a way to heal and a way to grow. So that's why we're here. What can you expect from future posts? They'll get better for a start. I'll know what I'm doing and I'm not going to waffle on as much, and you might be listening by the end of it as well, who knows. So yeah, I'm not going to keep talking about what the website is or who I am, but I will deliver posts around particular topics. So it might be around energy work, or inner child healing, or going back to the shadow, or how to have honest conversations with your decks. It might be around particular cards, and hopefully at some point I can start developing this into a podcast and invite other people into it, and we can have conversations around these issues. It's not just going to be me, but I really want to develop that space for tarot around healing. So it isn't just about learning how to read tarot or how to predict from tarot or how to read your astrology chart from tarot, but how to use tarot in conversation with yourself and how to grow with tarot. And just to reiterate at this point, although it might be a bit useless, you don't need to be an expert in tarot to be able to engage with it for healing. You just need to be able to look at a card and interpret it, not for its key word meanings or where does it fit within the Fool's journey or whatever. Just look at it, you'll see symbolism, you'll see colours, you'll see imagery. How does it make you feel and why does it make you feel like that? And that's a route into your self-reflection and in your healing, really. You can learn from that. So I'm going to cut this video short now, although it's not short. Please like and share this video if you found it a little bit interesting or a little bit useful. Future videos again are going to be much more tailored around topics that you probably will find more interesting. Please subscribe as well if you want to see those updates, and also if you want to see any of the stuff that I've talked about today, you can visit www.thehealingtarot.com. Remember to put the dashes between the healing and tarot, otherwise I'm going to have to pay quite a lot of money for a different domain name and I'm not prepared to do that. So it's the-healing-tarot.com, and it'd be great to see you there, either in our groups or sign up to our events, subscribing. If you have any questions, just get in touch through the website or through the link here, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.